For many, swimming 2.4 miles, riding 112, and running a marathon in a single day sounds crazy. These 8 athletes from all over the world are living the dream. Members of the best supported amateur tri-team in the world, a single goal unites them: a strong finish at the Ironman World Championships in Kona.
Picking up Justin, coming in from New Hampshire.
It's fun to meet you. Well, I mean, it's great to put faces to the names, and when the athletes got through to the last round of the Zwift Academy, I Skyped a few of the guys to let them know, and I think they were a bit like, oh wow, but I don't think it really sunk in, just the enormity of what's to come this year leading up to Kona.
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, Todd?
Todd.
Tom. Tim.
Are you Todd?
I think I might be.
For me going into Ironman, I know that I just had this laundry list of questions and I had to reach out to other professionals. And now I can fulfill that role. I'm able to give back to the sport.
New shoe day is always a good day. Yeah, I do feel like a pro now.
The pressure's on. I think, you know, like I'm definitely feeling it from kind of being injured at the moment. It's a bit like, you know, I don't feel that I can kind of go to the races that I've got coming up and do what I want to do.
I do feel pressure, but it's pressure I put on myself. It's just, I know how badly I want this. I mean, Ruth is a really good athlete. She's world champion in my age group, so I look up to him.
Just going to follow Sarah True. It's better off to follow what she's doing rather than try and make up my own stuff, so take the opportunity.
Are you swimming with me? Awesome, yeah. So what's great is you have no concept of pace since it's yards. Perfect.
Ironman scared me for a long time, so I was racing short course triathlon, doing 70.3s, but I always knew Ironman was where it's at, and I love endurance, like I always trained long, but was scared to race it, and when I was 30 I decided it was time to do it, so I went to Busselton and moved to Ironman and had a really good day. Got hooked from there.
How was it, Ruth?
Horrendous. Trying to keep up with Maggie. She doesn't look like she's trying. I'm there like puffing and puffing and she's not even out of breath.
I come from like ultra running background. So the longest ultra race I've done is 100 miles. I had to have surgery in September of 2017, and it was gonna lay me up for like 6 to 8 months of no running. So at that point, I decided to not get down about it, but to take on some other challenge. And I grew up swimming, so I have a fairly intensive swimming background. I just picked up the bike and just started riding in probably like January of 2018. And then just went all in on Ironman.
She's probably one of the best age group swimmers there's ever been. You know, she's done one Ironman, which she won outright, low 9 hours. I think she's level 462 on Zwift, so she loves the indoor riding. But then I rode with her and we couldn't bloody drop her on the descent. We were going about 75, 80 kilometers an hour.
Justin is the young lad of the group who has something to prove.
I just like having fun. I'm going to do my first Ironman in July 14th, 9 weeks, only 9 weeks, because I want to go to Kona. It's the World Championships.
I think Ironman is a beast, you know, having gone from, you know, juniors through to ITU, Olympics, 70.3, and then Ironman. You know, there's a big step, and the younger you are, you don't have much to call on in terms of experience.
All I know is it's hot and it's windy. I ask people all the time, how's Kona? It's hot.
It's great to see Justin, you know, absolutely full of beans and confidence and full of that passion that you know, we all had when we were that age. But, you know, I think he's under no illusion the task at hand. Not only is he looking to do his first Ironman, but he's looking to get on the podium.
This is where I'm going to be at Kona, right here, for 26.1 miles.
It's always great to have supporters try and run with me.
Biggest fear, just how I'll handle stepping up the distance. The longest run I've ever done was 20 miles, and that was like 4 years ago.
And then you got Paul, who's granddad. Man, that boy can run.
Did my first triathlon in 2009. It was a bit of a bet with a friend, really. I didn't actually know Ironman existed back then when we did the first one, so you know, I thought a sprint was a long way.
For him and Philip and Levi, you know, they're really like just absorbing everything, and I think they're really seeing this as an opportunity to really, you know, take that one step up in Kona.
Levi and I, we just found out that we were in the same age group because I'm going to turn 30 this year. I think it was shocked a bit. And a little anxious, but I said I wait for him in Kona at the finish line and we cross it together.
To be surrounded by such gifted athletes, a couple of them are deciding to go pro next year. And the hardest part for me was I know what they can do when it's game time.
Triathletes generally know it better than others, but fit is like foundation. Once you're fit on the bike, you can maintain an aero position for longer, and that is always speed and better efficiency. So they're actually going through a metabolic test in our human performance laboratory, specifically looking at trunk position, looking at the sensitivity in terms of how the engine works. Then we're correlating that relative to their wind tunnel position.
I've done 5 Ironman races to try and qualify, and I've literally missed it with one spot every single time. It's just, my dad was podiumed in Kona. My mom was South Africa's best Ironman athlete in her time. So it's just, it'll mean the world to me.
I was in South Africa and I was there on the run when Natia was flying, and you know, it was amazing to see her get on the podium in a home race. But for there to only be one spot in her age group is heartbreaking.
How is the tunnel?
It's windy.
I'm going to Hawaii 70.3. That's my goal race to try and qualify. My biggest weakness is myself. I doubt myself. My coach, he just shakes his head, but I am my biggest enemy.
I think out of everyone in my position, I think they have the most trouble.
Why?
Just because my crank size has changed and I've never really been in an aero position on my bike, so hopefully I didn't cause them too much grief.
Pressure getting to you?
Yes. I'm supposed to be the oldest and the wisest.
We've been thinking about your race coming up.
Yep. And I don't want to let the team down.
You know, sometimes athletes have this public persona that's all happy-go-lucky, you know, just a rabble-rouser, but then to be this good, you also have to have the other side, which is focused dedication.
Do you miss me?
I always miss you, Justin. And I look forward to you coming home.
Growing up, I was a loud kid because I'm a small guy physically. So to compensate, I have to be a little louder and a little more vocal.
Why?
Well, people will walk all over you if you're small and quiet. So I can stand up for myself. There's pressure in the race to like qualify and do well. Like Zwift obviously picked me for the team because they think I can do well. So I have to, you know, live up to that.
What will happen if you don't qualify?
I haven't really thought about it. I guess I'll have to do another race if I can find one.
The training's going well?
Yeah, training's going well.
Like if you have self-doubt or whatever, who do you speak to?
I usually just talk to my coach, I guess.
Yeah?
And then he always says, "Don't worry, we'll get there." I'm like, okay.
My biggest strength is when the gun goes off. That's my biggest strength. Things just turn around and I go forward and I am driven.
Love Hills, so yeah, it was a good ride. And today was a better day.
She beat me by 2 seconds!
Watch out, Kona. She's coming to get us.
Yeah, where's the hill and Javi? You'll already be back in transition.
How many trophies did you get today?
16. Woo! Strava trophy. Almost as good as Swift jerseys, but not quite. So the lady that does all of her riding inside is a much better descender than I am.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. I just hung on when I could.
Really competitive. Very.
Watching the girls, they're very impressive, pushing some massive watts. That's nearly as much as I do on some of my training rides.
Ruth, to see her on Zwift doing a race, I think everyone was blown away at the numbers she was putting out, which is great, but she does that in races.
Put the pressure on early, starting the little rivalry. No more friends from now on.
I beat him yesterday on the road, up the hill.
There's no mountains in Kona.
I mean, Levi is a great guy, and to be honest, I'd rather see him on the podium than somebody else if it's not me.
Paul, I'm back in the Brits. We're going to dominate today.
Come on,
Come on! Yeah!
Go, 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 go!
It was a surprise. I sort of, I gave them some false security, I think, at the start.
Great group of people, and the camp dad, Richard, is a hoot, just hilarious. Craig, like just everyone, the whole crew has been nothing but accommodating.
Oh, I mean, I'm as prepared as I could be, I think.
What's the face for?
Well, there's only 8 weeks left.
This will be my sixth race to qualify. Wow. I'm not planning on being runner-up again.
It's just been like a dream come true.
See you in Kona, Road to Kona 2019.
Levi, Maggie, and Ruth are sitting pretty with their Kona slots secured. But what about the rest of the team? Will Natia shake off her second place finish that didn't earn a Kona invite? Will Yvonne and Paul punch their Kona tickets so they can finally go for the top step? How will Philip fare in Austria? And what about Justin? How will he perform in his first iron distance race? Stay tuned. The Specialized Zwift Academy Tri-Team's road to Kona is going to be a wild ride.